Build your dreams, live rich, and leave rich.
Welcome to Live Rich and Leave Rich. Our philosophy here is pretty simple. Live rich doesn't mean living lavishly. It means living peacefully. Today, we're going to build the foundation for that peace of mind by talking about how to invest in mutual funds the right way, so you don't have to depend on anyone in your future. Let's get right into it.
Okay, first things first, the mandatory disclaimer. Everything we discuss here is for your education. Mutual funds do have market risks, so you've got to read the offer documents carefully. Think of what we're doing here as giving you a reliable map. But for your own personal journey, it's always a good idea to talk to a SEBI-registered advisor who can be your personal guide.
Now, let's talk about the real risk. Not the one you see on the news, but the one that's happening silently in the background. We all feel safe when we see our money sitting in a savings account, right? But the hard truth is, for every 100 rupees you have in there, there's a thief called inflation that's quietly stealing its value year after year.
I mean, just look at the numbers. Your savings account is probably giving you, 3% interest, maybe 4% if you're lucky. At the same time, the cost of everything, inflation, is going up by about 7% a year. This isn't a maybe loss, it's a guaranteed loss of your money's buying power. So by playing it safe, you are literally guaranteeing that you lose money every single year.
So if we know that keeping money in the bank is a guaranteed way to lose its value, why are so many of us absolutely terrified of investing in mutual funds? Well, it usually comes down to one big misunderstanding. We hear stock market and our brain immediately jumps to gambling. We picture those crazy scenes from movies, but that's not what this is about. Not at all.
Let me give you an analogy that will make this crystal clear. Think of investing in stocks directly. That's like trying to drive your own car through rush hour traffic in a big city. You need a lot of skill. You have to know all the routes, avoid the potholes. And if you mess up, well, the accident is all yours. A mutual fund, on the other hand, is like taking a nice, comfortable, air-conditioned Volvo bus.
See, on the bus, you and a bunch of other passengers pool your money together to buy a ticket. And with that money, you hire a professional driver, the fund manager, who has spent 20 years driving on these chaotic roads. You can just sit back, read a book, and trust the expert to get you where you need to go. You don't need to be the expert driver, you just need to know how to buy the right bus ticket.
So how do you buy that right ticket? It's not some complex secret. We're going to break it down into just 3 simple, easy-to-follow steps. First, we'll understand the mechanism. Second, we'll learn how to make the right selection. And third, and this is crucial, we'll learn how to avoid a very common trap.
Step 1 is all about the mechanism. And the magic word here is SIP, or Systematic Investment Plan. This is basically the engine of your whole investment journey. It just means you invest a small, fixed amount of money every single month, and it can be as little as 500 rupees. The real power of an SIP comes from something called rupee cost averaging.
Okay, let's break this down. It's actually as simple as buying vegetables from the market. When tomatoes are expensive, your 100 rupees gets you maybe half a kilo. But when the price drops, that same 100 rupees gets you a whole kilo, right? An SIP does this automatically. When the market is down and prices are low, your fixed SIP amount buys you more units. When the market is up, it buys you fewer. So over time, your average purchase cost goes down. It's like automatically buying more of something when it's on sale.
All right, on to step 2, the selection. Which bus do you actually get on? For anyone just starting out, the simplest and honestly one of the best choices is an index fund. A Nifty 50 fund is a great example. Instead of trying to guess which single company will do well, you're buying a tiny slice of the top 50 biggest companies in India. You're basically betting on the growth of the entire Indian economy. As the country grows, so does your investment. Simple as that.
And now, for what is probably the most critical step of all. Step 3, avoiding the trap. You see, when you go to buy a mutual fund, it comes in 2 flavors, a regular plan and a direct plan. A regular plan is sold to you by a middleman, like a bank or an agent, and for their service, they take a hidden commission from your investment, about 1% every single year. A direct plan means you buy straight from the source, cutting out that middleman entirely. And the commission? It's 0.
Now you might be thinking, come on, Krish, what's 1%? It sounds so tiny. But let's see what that tiny 1% commission actually does to your money over the long run. Let's say you invest 10,000 rupees a month, every month for 20 years.
That 1% fee will cost you over 15 lakh rupees. Let that sink in. 15 lakh rupees.
That is your profit, your money that you just handed over to a middleman for doing absolutely nothing. This is exactly why you must always choose a direct plan.
Let's see how this works in the real world. Meet Vikram. He walks into his bank, and the friendly relationship manager sells him a regular plan of some new fund. A few months go by, the market dips a little, Vikram panics. He stops his SIP, sells everything, and what's the result? He paid a hidden fee to get in, and then he sold at a loss. He ends up blaming the market.
But then there's Anjali. She does a little reading online. She completes her KYC herself. She chooses a simple, low-cost, direct plan index fund. And you know what she does when the market drops? She smiles. She actually smiles. Why? Because she understands rupee cost averaging. She knows her SIP is just buying more units at a discount. She stays disciplined, and after 15 years, she's built a huge corpus for her goals. She just followed the map. You can absolutely be Anjali. Here's your homework, a simple checklist to get you started on the right path. 1. Check your KYC status online. Make sure your PAN and Aadhaar are linked up. 2. Define your goal. What is this money for? A car in 3 years? Retirement in 20? The goal determines the type of fund. 3. I'm going to say it again. Always look for the word direct in the fund's name. And 4. Start small. Start a 500 rupees SIP today. Just begin. The most important step is the first one.
All right, let's quickly recap the most important points. Takeaway number 1. Remember, a mutual fund is not some magic scheme. It's just a vehicle, a tool that lets an ordinary person hire a professional expert to manage their money.
Takeaway number 2, think of your SIP as a seatbelt for your financial journey. It enforces discipline, and it uses those market ups and downs to your advantage, which actually reduces your risk over time.
Takeaway number 3, and this is a big one. The single most important word for your wealth is direct. Choosing direct plans is the only way to make sure that you get to keep all of your profits, not some agent. It can literally make a difference of lakhs of rupees.
Takeaway number 4. Please don't try to time the market. Nobody can predict it consistently. The real secret to creating wealth isn't about jumping in and out at the perfect time. It's about spending time in the market. Just stay invested and let the magic of compounding do its work.
And finally, our 5th takeaway. Use the right tool for the right job. If your goal is far away, like more than 5 years, equity funds are great because they offer higher growth. But if your goal is short-term, like a down payment in 2 years, then debt funds are safer and more stable. Always match your fund to your goal's timeline.
So, there you have it. The path is clear. You have the map, you understand the vehicle, and you know the rules of the road. Your journey towards a future of dignity, a future of peace of mind, where you're not worried about money, it can start right now, with one small step. The only question left is, what's that first step going to be for you?